sightings? I mean, do you find that
common denominator?
The common denominator?
Yeah. I think it's a good question. I think one should often look at it in this manner. What is it that is not reported? We don't get reports, for instance, of flying pink elephants. We don't get reports of fiery dragons. Nobody has reported yet the Taj Mahal having been sighted in Brooklyn. They fit a definite pattern. Well, as a matter of fact, if I may throw modesty to the winds for just a moment, in my first book, UFO Experience, I classified these into 6 classes. And, well, there were the nocturnal lights, the daylight discs, and the radar cases, and then the 3 kinds of close encounters. That's where the term close encounters came from, for a matter of fact. Close encounters of the first kind, close encounters of the second kind, and close encounters of the third kind. Now, the close encounters of the first kind are close, but are characterized by the absence of any physical effects. They may frighten a person, give them bad dreams, but nothing else happens. Close encounters of the second kind are extremely important. They are the ones in which physical traces, burnt rings on the ground, broken tree branches, stopped cars, skin burns, nausea, eye burns, so forth. In other words, things that can be studied actually in the hospital or in the laboratory. And then the close encounters of the third kind, those in which the entities, the creatures, are reported. And
as I listen to you, I hear Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie, opinion, if not by these encounters.
Well, I also said that while the statement that we are not alone, if true, and I think is true, does not necessarily explain the UFO. There are other possible theories like the time travel or parallel reality. I think there's a lot to be said for the extraterrestrial hypothesis if you hypothesize a very, very advanced... Now, there are stars that are millions of years older than the sun. Therefore, there could be civilizations that are millions of years older, and they might just know something that we don't. After all, in the old days, in the days of the Pony Express, if you wanted to get the letter there faster, the only way you could think about it was a faster horse. You wouldn't have thought of a 747. And in the same way, we don't know how these things get here. We may be in the same sense, suppose that we'd ask Galileo to tell us how a nuclear submarine worked. The poor son of a gun couldn't possibly have figured it out because the nucleus of the atom wasn't discovered until 1909, I believe. So even the concept of nuclear energy would have been out. Now, people ask me, what do you think is the propulsion system? Well, that's like asking Galileo, what do you think the propulsion system of a nuclear submarine is? It may be that, but that doesn't mean that we must stop studying it. It's an intriguing thing and eminently worthy of scientific study.
We've only just begun.
We've only just begun.
I am afraid so.
As I said, Ezekiel in the Bible, which most people would be upset about.
Well, Ezekiel is a good UFO story. So is Saul of Tarsus on the road to Damascus. And as a matter of fact, I brought with me, do we have that here?
Yeah, we sure do.
There is a 17th or 16th century painting of the Madonna and St. John, which shows a flying saucer right there. And in the enlargement in the lower right shows the chap and the dog looking up at a typical UFO. Now, why did the artist put that into that painting? It seems ridiculous. Well, all through history, strange things in the sky have been reported. But of course, there is so much superstition, so much poor reporting that one can't do much about it, except to say that strange stories have been reported.
Are you saying that throughout our history,